Welcome to the GovCon webinar series, Marketing Tools that Open Doors for Federal Sales with Judy Bratt and Eileen Kent. This is the first of a four-part webinar series. We have three other segments that we're offering this year, and that includes Disrupt the Incumbent, To Bid or Not to Bid, and 7 Truths of Federal Contracting. These are all complimentary. They're available both live and on demand, but we hope you'll join us live. I'm Judy Bratt, CEO of Summit Insight. Summit Insight is a professional services company that supports established firms that want to grow their federal business. I've been in the federal arena for over 35 years, and I'm here to bring you the best of what it takes to win. We've helped our clients win over $200 million in federal contracts and counting. And so we believe that marketing and sales should be acts of service, which is why this series is free. We hope you believe that too, and if you do, you're in the right place. Let's jump in. I'm doing this series with my business partner, co-trainer, and the person that industry has dubbed the Federal Sales Sherpa, Eileen Kent. Eileen, say hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Judy, for having me today.
Eileen has helped Summit Insight clients alone win over $200 million in federal contracts. She herself has led multiple national sales teams to, in just one case, over $65 million in wins and very much still counting. And she's trained over 10,000 people, including federal contracting officers themselves, in how to work with industry as well as industry in how to win. It is my joy to not only be working with Eileen as a partner, but also to be her friend.
Thank you.
Ways to participate. Please use the chat and Q&A boxes actively. And if you're here, you can hear us, you can see us, you're on keyboard and camera, just drop hi in the chat box or Q&A so we know you're ready and active and ready to answer questions. Raise a hand. Be ready to unmute for live Q&A when we get to the end, or type your question in the chat box. If we don't get to it live, then I promise you we will follow up one-on-one afterward. You'll get a follow-up email if you're attending live, and that'll include links to all the goodies and resources we're talking about, and also the opportunity to book a call with either of us. So next up, Eileen, let's make it happen. Get out your notebook. By the way, you're going to not only take notes, but you're going to take action. And at the end, I'm going to ask you, what action are you going to take, or what was your big aha from the time that we spent together? All right, Eileen, it's your turn. You're center stage. What have you got to tell us about marketing tools that open doors for federal sales?
Thank you so much, Judy, for having me. Hello, everybody. It's great to have you here today. Our hope today is you're going to walk away with lots of different tools that you can build for your team. As you know, my name's Eileen Kent, Federal Sales Sherpa, and this is basically our agenda: understanding what those doors are and opening them, and being able to give people the keys to open those doors. So I want to talk just for a second about marketing itself. You know, marketing helps build brands and helps build trust, and therefore it makes it easier for salespeople to hit the ground running when they feel like they have the tools that they need to give to their customers, to tell them more about what we do. And it just gives them a lot of confidence. So some of the things that we need to start thinking about is, where do we begin? What tools do we need? What is our approach? What's our tone? What's our message? So everyone has a different idea of marketing. You can go to a college and get all kinds of, textbooks on the word marketing, but really I look at the tactics, the activities, and the tools that salespeople need in their hands. So let's think about this just for a moment. I want you to think about the door and the doors that they face. Sometimes they look kind of daunting, don't they? This is a picture of the Illinois state government building. And when you're at the base of it looking up at the doors, it's pretty scary looking. They're really big doors. But at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you a different angle of these doors once you've opened your eyes to being able to open these doors, that these doors are actually incredibly beautiful when you walk up to them. But this particular picture makes them look a little scary. So the first thing we need to do is understand what the doors are that salespeople must open so that we can close those deals. So let's ask our salespeople. I've created 4 personas for you. So this might be someone that you work with, someone that you team with. It might be 4 sides of your own personality. So we're just going to have some fun just for a little bit, talking about the 4 different kind of sides of our personality or team members we have that have different ideas of what's a door to sales. To the beginner, a door is a barrier. To the optimist, a door is an opportunity. To the dreamer, they say, I don't need to go door to door. I just need followers. And then, of course, the realist, usually the owner, as a taxpayer, I paid for that door. Walk through it. So the next question about how do salespeople feel when they face a door? Beginner, fear. Optimist, I'm curious. I wonder what's behind that door. The dreamer, if we build it, they'll come to us like they'll never have to face a door in their whole life. The realist, frustration. Yet another door I have to deal with and unlock. Who's on the other side of the door? Let's ask our salespeople. The beginner says, I don't know. The optimist, a client is behind that door. The dreamer, a friend and a fan. Let's go to the realist, security. Okay, so let's just start thinking about this door. Now, how should a sales executive knock on that door? Let's ask them. How should you knock on the door? Beginner, just walk in. Optimist, tap on it lightly. Dreamer, who needs to knock? They'll come to us. Realist, unless you pound, they'll never notice you. The next question, what do we do when the door opens? The beginner, I don't know, I think I would freeze. The optimist, request an invitation into the door. The dreamer, invite them out to play. Come on out. Don't stay at work. Come out and go on a walk with me. The realist, they already have someone doing what they would do. So why would they even open it to us? Now, this is a photo. It's one of my favorite photos I think any of my friends has ever taken. This was taken by, actually, she's a Second City comedian, and she actually trains at Second City, but she's also works for CBD marketing. Her name is Mary Olivieri. She's here in Chicago, and she was in Paris and found this door knocker. Isn't it awesome? It's a hand that's knocking on its own door. So in marketing, really, we must arm our salespeople with the right keys to open these doors. So key number 1, and this is a real crucial one, we need to know the customer. We need to know what their preferences are, what their hopes are, who they're currently using, what they need. We need to do some homework about this person, because if we walk in with the wrong message, the wrong solution, here's what's going to happen. Here's Cookie Monster. You know what he wants. He wants cookies. Look at the picture behind him. But instead, someone brings him crackers. So they're frustrated. It's like, you don't even know me. A lot of, Judy and I can tell you, a lot of federal customers are really frustrated when companies are selling to them and they don't buy what that person sells at all. And they're like, why are you coming to me? I'm in a depot. I don't need marketing materials, right? Or whatever it might be. I don't need videos. I need storage. I need logistics. I need equipment, but I don't need marketing stuff. Just think about when you're approaching an agency, we already need to know what cookies they like and the fact that they like cookies. Because if we bring them crackers, this is how they're going to respond. By the way, this is created by Mark Parisi, and he has a great website called offthemark.com. And for just a little investment, you can buy his cartoons, and they're hilarious for social media posts for presentations like this. So the first thing we need to start thinking about is we need to know the customer. So we need to start asking specific questions before we even get started. Who are we? And who are our clients inside the federal government? What pains do we heal? So for example, Judy and I will help a company save a year of their time instead of stumbling around and trying to figure out who buys what they sell. We try to shorten that time frame as quickly as possible to get you to the right agency. So think about, what is the pain that you heal? If you sell cybersecurity software, basically what you're doing is you're protecting an agency from the bad guys. Basically, you're giving them a good night's sleep by being able to protect their website or their data if possible. So what pains do you heal? When is the best time to work with us? So for example, there's two sides of this question. When's the best time to work with us? Let's say you're in construction and you're in the Midwest. Well, right now there's freezing rain and snow happening. So there's not a lot of construction going on. It's better for us to do construction in the spring, summer, and early fall. So the best time to work with us is during that time of year. But the challenge is everybody thinks in federal contracting, all these contracts happen in fourth quarter, which is July to September. Well, in federal contracting, if it's construction contracts, that stuff is happening right now, March, April, May, all the bids. And that means we need to get to them even earlier, Q1 for them. We need to talk to them in the winter so that in the spring when the bids come out. So every business is a little different. When's the best time to work with us and when's the best time to work with them? So how do clients in this industry engage our services? Do they buy with a credit card? Do they work on GSA schedule? Do they post it on sam.gov? Why would the customer even choose us? So for example, if we're a software company or an IT company that offers database management, well, what systems do you use? What's your expertise? What are your unique values that make you special? And then what are our best values and differentiators? These are the key elements that a company needs to put forward to their customers to basically say, here's our superpowers. Not only are we good database developers, but we're really good in Drupal. That's our expertise. Or we're really good in Splunk. Or we're really good in Java. You know, talking about those best, and we've been doing it for 10 years. So talking about the unique things that are about you. You might have certain security clearances or speed to deliver. And then of course, those best values need to be provable and quantifiable. Marketing, you need to start building this stuff because salespeople needs it for these reasons. When we know who we are and who our clients are, the salespeople can confidently reach out to the right people. They can find people who are in pain. They can know the client's buying season and situation and when's the best time to reach out to them. They know how to close a deal. They know how to communicate what makes us special. And then of course, they can provide these best values that say why we're unique, why we're a safe bet, and why we're the best quality. These things, they need that information to give to their clients. Your salespeople are going to share those best values over and over and over again, almost like it's going to be in your capability statement, at your website, in every post. You're going to hypnotize your customers about your best values. Why? Because when the bid comes out, they're going to use those best values as evaluation criteria. And you want them to use yours and not another competitor's. Okay, marketing materials. The first thing we need is a capability statement. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to just kind of enumerate some of these things in a row. So we need capability statement, which is 1 or 2 pages. It shows some of the items that are part of our SAM record, our SAM.gov record. So that unique entity identification code, the CAGE code, all the North American classification codes, your PSC codes, then your capabilities and your best values, all on a 1 to 2 page document. Make it really easy to read, not long sentences and paragraphs. You need to use bullet points. And notice how I have bullet points here. You're going to start incorporating check marks on all of your communications. So they're easy to read, really clear, and easy to communicate for your salespeople. You also need a web page that's dedicated to the government, as well as from that website, your capability statement is going to be downloadable from that website. Now, it would be really helpful if you created a little mini video at your website that just either introduces your staff or your software or your products or your services, even if it's just a minute or two. And I got to tell you, one of my clients, they're a manufacturer who takes Humvees from the Army from the Army, and they trick them out. So what do I mean by that? They put armored stuff inside that might go around a computer, or they do things on the inside of the Humvees. And so their local city government has a city page, like they feature local businesses. They did a video that was featured on their local government, city government page. And I used to work for city government, so we used to produce videos for our local businesses. And that 1 or 2 minute video that they did for their local cable channel, they use now at their website. So there are ways to get videos that are not that expensive to do, okay? So a little mini video is always really helpful. So the capability statement, federal customers are constantly asking for it. So the sales team absolutely needs to have a good one in their hands right now. The web page is really helpful so that you can get that, point your customers to it and they can download it. But also know that when you build your capability statement, let's say you hire a marketing company to build it for you. Make sure that they give it to you in a .doc format so you can modify it. There's nothing more frustrating than to get a graphic designer to develop your capability statement. They put it in a PDF file that you can't modify. So you have to hire them every time you change a capability or add a period to an end to a sentence or modify. So try to get the original document so you can make changes to it. Having a downloadable capability statement basically shows that you're prepared and you're capable and you've already got this website. Everything looks the same. It's really clear. Of course, you're going to feature that best value statement at your website in your CAPE statement, and your salesperson is going to say it over and over again. The other couple things you're going to need to do is, if you happen to have a GSA schedule, you're going to take that number and hot link it to your listing in the GSA e-library so they can find you. So not only you're going to take that hot link and put it on your capability statement, you're also going to put it on your website and also underneath your signature in your email. So start to really do this over and over again. Then you're going to start building capabilities briefings, which is a PowerPoint like this. I would keep it to like 4 or 5 slides. Keep it real simple. You're going to do some of your capabilities, but you're also going to feature 3 past performances in that capabilities briefing, so you can tell your clients some of the work that you've done, and of course a couple demo videos. This helps the sales person. They're not so afraid anymore. They've got materials they can show to people if they ask them for them. Now, a lot of people have been talking about social media these days, and what we believe, and Judy and I can tell you because we do it every day, we're out there social media marketing all the time, it creates a corporate brand for you. Now, I want you to notice that Judy's business is Summit Insight, but everybody knows Judy is Judy Brandt as well. And my company name is a different company name than Federal Sales Sherpa. So I tend to use my brand that goes with my name. So whatever you decide to do, use that brand over and over again, because you want people to start recognizing the brand. Get used to building keywords and phrases for what you do, so you use them over and over again, and even possibly use them as hashtags. Also, you're going to start creating posts based on that list of pains I told you to build. So for example, one of the pains that Judy and I like to solve is we want you to write less proposals. So what do we write about all the time? We write about loser proposals, writing loser proposal after loser proposal. So you don't have to do that anymore. Stop writing loser proposals and wasting your time and money on that. Think about selling in the beginning. So what we do is think about the pains you solve and the things that you solve and start writing posts to that. It's basically tapping on a pain that your customers might not even know they have. For example, have you ever gotten in the mail those flyers about, hey, do you have knee problems? Are you in pain? Do you have clicking? Does it stretch? Does it hurt? Does your kneecap hurt? Does your back? And your knee never hurt before. They never hurt before. All of a sudden you're getting these pictures of hurt knees and you're starting to go, oh, maybe my knee is clicking. You start to feel pain and then you go, where's that flyer that doctor keeps sending me stuff about pain? So I want you to remember that. Start basing your post based on pain and offer solutions to that pain in the post, and do it over and over again, just different angles of those pains over and over again. Now, the feds are on Facebook. They, like a base might have a Facebook page. And, you know, the Army Corps of Engineers and GSA might have a Twitter feed. But I got to tell you, the place where you need to interact with people is LinkedIn. Over 2 million plus federal employees are on LinkedIn. And not only are they on LinkedIn, they've linked their profile to their agency. So you can go to a corporate page like Health and Human Services and click on people, and you'll see thousands of federal employees in LinkedIn. Now, I do want to let you know that they are voyeurs. They're not going to comment on your stuff. They're not going to like your stuff. So, but you can have a little email exchange with them. So you can connect with them. Just understand that federal employees mostly are connecting with you on LinkedIn because after they retire, they want to have a laundry list of companies that they could potentially jump to after they've retired. So they're connecting with vendors that way. And yes, they're connecting with vendors to do business with you. But when you email them back and forth inside LinkedIn, that's not on their email. So sometimes they can have offline conversations with you on LinkedIn. I certainly have had plenty of them. LinkedIn is a great place to be. Now, you're going to create a corporate profile for your company and then make sure that the owner's profile has the corporate logo and that it clicks back over to your page. And every single employee that's on your team, they have the corporate logo on their LinkedIn profile and it clicks back to the people on your corporate page, your web page on LinkedIn. So if you have any news or marketing or awards, send out posts from the corporate page and then let the salespeople send out or share or like the posts that you did from your corporate to their groups. Another way to do a lot of different types of marketing to federal agencies as well as teaming partners is to create your own discussion groups. Judy has a discussion group. There's multiple federal contracting discussion groups, but let's say, for example, I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's say you're a Drupal programmer. Why not create a Drupal users group for programmers? And then you start attracting people that are programmers inside the government and you're having internal discussions. So creating your own group could create a really nice little user group of people of like mind and like conversations. So, and like I said just a little bit earlier, feds are not going to comment or share or like your posts. It doesn't mean they're not reading them. They can't show any preference to anybody, but they are watching. I promise you. They reach out to me all the time. Hey, Eileen, I saw your post. Now, if you see some of your customers posting in the feds, especially the small business officers, click, like, comment, share their stuff. Then you're going to stick out to them. So these are some of the things that the salespeople can do with some of the things you're doing at marketing. Inside marketing, sales can share posts. They can use the keywords to educate clients. We can start proving to them that we have the answers to their pain. We can start getting them to come to us to start asking questions. Creating these profiles and brands creates trust. Suddenly the federal customers are like, God, you guys are everywhere, right? Remember, 2 million feds are on LinkedIn. Make sure, especially your salespeople, have your corporate logo and they link back to your page. So just a couple of reminders of the things I just talked about. Okay, key number 4, getting involved in associations. And then one of the things I like to talk about is a lot of people are involved in this small business association and that small business association and, you know, NCMA and AVCIA and all those great associations that professionals in the businesses are part of. But what I'm talking about are associations where the customers on the inside who need what you do, they're associations. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you're a recruiting company and you're working on HR. Get involved in, SHRM. I think it's Society of HR Managers, right? If you're in the facilities realm, get involved in Society of American Military Engineers. I would rather you spend money on those associations than NCMA. I hate to say it. I'd rather you be hanging out where your end users are hanging out, so that you're hanging out also with potential teaming partners that are also calling on them. Develop association-based materials and get involved. Develop training sessions so that you can bring it to the association. Say, hey, we have an expert at XYZ that we could speak at your association meeting. Would you like us to fill a gap in your next training session? If you go to trade shows, I want you to build a trade show booth 10 by 10. That's fun. Fun, fun, fun. Brochures, create a theme, have everything match. Have your CAPE statement, your brochure, your website. Make it fun and exciting. There's nothing worse than going to a government trade show and everybody's sitting in their booth and they're sitting behind one of those tables and they're all talking on their phones, right? We want that booth to be wide open and inviting, beautiful graphic, inviting, and maybe have some sort of game in there they can play. Anything that can make your team fun. Now, how we're going to place people is we want your marketing people inside the booth, because time is real estate in that booth. So they're going to be there zapping, getting the names off the name tags, and they're going to be just getting basic information from people, but they're going to be doing the business cards and the giveaway. But now salespeople, you as part of the associations, you're going to be going to the events. You're going to be networking and walking the halls and getting involved in the membership committee. If you're part of the membership committee, you're going to meet everybody, including your competitors. So sales can also bring project managers out to some of these events and also ask their customers to come. You can't pay for their entrance, but hey, am I going to see you at the next Society of American Military Engineers meeting? We'll see you there, right? Now the owner would attend, but if it's at a trade show, the owner, excuse me, and sales need to be walking the show while marketing is working the booth. Okay, so the next thing is thinking about what kind of materials that we need to put out there and publish. We need to start sitting down with our technical team and our subject matter experts on those pains that we solve, because you could build a white paper. A white paper is something where you don't have a bunch of your logos all over it. It's not a sales piece. It's more scientific and examples of case studies of the things that you've done. It's putting a case together as to why they need this particular solution and what would cause this need to be. So white papers are more scientific and a good training piece. So what that's for is for your salesperson to hand it to the project manager at the agency, and the project manager can take that to their boss. And it's not going to have our logo all over it. We want to give them something that makes it look like they did their research and they're taking the boss going, hey, you know what? I think a green roof might work for this building. And because of this white paper, I think we can handle the load bearing of soil on the roof. And here's why I think it would be successful. Right? Give them the goods to the project managers so they can walk it into their boss as their idea. So also coming up with some technical information, answers to problems that you solve. It's not a sales piece, okay? It's a piece to get the conversation within that office amongst your customer and their bosses to say, hey, we should start thinking about this. And in fact, maybe we'll ask that subject matter expert to come in and talk to us more about it. So it's really an easier way for them to ask budget, and it's not salesy. So you can customize it. And these are some of the reasons, like I just said, why sales would need some of these. Some of these technical documents can start to build a scope. And if your salesperson is helping them build a scope, you're there early enough before the bid hits the streets, and you can help them with their scope of work, which is a perfect position to be in for a win. It also can uncover more pain. So for example, let's say the salesperson says, we've written this white paper on green roofs and we think this roof might be good. But then let's say the person takes it to their boss and their boss says, no, I don't think it's load bearing enough. And so now they talk to your salesperson, hey, can you bring your team out to take a look at our roof and really take a sample of it and see how much weight can it handle? So it creates dialogue between sales and our technical people and our customers. It also creates other conversations. Like you might give them a green roof, but they might go, you know, I think we'd like to consider solar. So it also spurs other conversations as well. And it might make those decision maker and the subject matter expert conversations going, and now things are great. And that was all because of a white paper that marketing and the subject matter expert put together and put it into the hands of the end user. Now, some people don't think about this. Now, the idea here is to get these appointments, but now we're onboarding the customer. Let's say we've closed the deal, we've won the deal. I want you to start thinking about marketing, ways you can really establish your brand at that agency. Get those logos on the invoices and every agreement. Make sure that in your invoices and packing slips that you say thank you for doing business with us, and possibly even, especially if you're sending product to a warehouse, maybe put it in a couple languages. And also put a big, red, white, and blue flag on there. Thank you for your service. Someone in the warehouse is opening this box. What a nice thing. Instead of like, okay, I'm opening up a box of, I don't know, oil cans. That's fun, right? But then they open it in the very front. Thank you for your service. And then it's in several languages. And hey, we appreciate doing business with you. Don't forget that we're your local vendor to get more of these. And by the way, why not put something at the bottom of the box that they can either put on the shelf, next to the last one. You need more, roofing companies, you know what they do? They put a sticker on when they go up on the roof. You have to kind of push this door open to get on the roof. They put a sticker on there. Any problems with this roof, call us. So this is the same kind of thing, is if you're sending boxes of stuff out there, say thank you in the top of it, and then on the bottom of it, need more, call us. Double your dollars right there, okay? Marketing should help what the reports do and wrapping up quality communications. So if there's something that's service, for example, if you're doing hourly rates and you're hitting milestones on some of your projects, make sure that when you're presenting to the contracting officer technical rep, okay, we've hit a milestone. Let's go through the list of everything that we've done. Why? Because you want to get paid. But make sure marketing is helping you with those reports and making it look pretty, okay? And then also make sure you're constantly doing customer surveys at the milestone level. The goal here is for you to start really pushing as high of a rating as you can possibly get. You don't want to get a satisfactory rating. Very good would be nice, outstanding would be nice, but exceptional is the best rating you can get. So constantly be asking your clients, we strive to be exceptional, and we really want to be able to get that rating from you as high as possible. So let us know how we're doing. Now, the other thing you might want to point out is letters of appreciation. If someone has gone way out of their way to help you with your first order with the federal government, make sure you write a letter of commendation, put it on your letterhead, and have the owner sign it. And then, like I said, we are striving to be exceptional. If you've ever seen the show Ted Lasso, and if you notice right outside his office, he has the word believe. I want you to put the word exceptional all over your office and have a conversation with your team. What do we need to do to be more exceptional? Because that CPAR, those kind of reviews that you could possibly get are the best reviews you can get. And then you can add that to your best value statement, okay? So constantly be writing these things. And this is just a little reminder of the things that we need to do after we've onboarded them. I also want you to think about loyalty programs that you can put together. Now, you can't give the federal government presents. You can't give anybody a little surprise. The only time you can do giveaways is at a trade show, and you have to buy as many giveaways as people that are going to be there. So if 5,000 people are going to be at a government trade show, you have to have 5,000, whatever it might be, pens, hand sanitizer. I did little mini beach balls like this and I threw them at people. That was really fun. So if you do giveaways, they've got to be less than, keep it under 20 bucks and you got to buy one for everybody. So buy something fun. But when it comes to loyalty programs, you might want to start doing some specialty type of communication with your loyal. Call them elite. Everybody likes to be called someone who's elite, right? And encourage repeat business, but you can't give them presents. So show appreciation in several ways: early payment discounts or volume discounts. If it's gaining them points towards something, that's very exciting. In fact, Judy and I were just working with a client this morning who said doing business with them would get that client more points towards something really big that has something to do with a larger corporation. So investing in them gets them more from a large software company. So there's rewards and benefits to working with you. And then, of course, if you can nominate your client for an award, how awesome would that be as part of the association that you're in? So sales worked really hard to bring them in. We've got to find a way to keep them coming back. It helps with commissions. It closes more business. Sales team likes to take care of their clients. So when clients win, we win again and again and again. So with that, I want you to look at this door. Oh my God, it's the FBI. It looks kind of scary, doesn't it? But if you look really closely, their door says business appointments. How inviting is that? I want to get back to the door I showed you earlier. That scary door. Look at it face to face. It's this beautiful, like coppery brass color. And look at the reflection of the tree in the background. These doors are gorgeous. So some of these buildings that you're walking into are pretty beautiful. And I want to just remind you, marketing, you need to give your salespeople a mission so that they can knock down those doors and save their clients' day. So let me give you just a couple of quick examples before I stop my part of the presentation. I have a client right now who solves cold cases. I want you to think about that. She solves cold cases that are 50 to 100 years old. Now, I'm 59 years old. So they are solving cold cases from when I was a teenager of people that were murdered. They're not only finding out who the people are, if they're Jane or John Doe's, they're finding their killers. Why? Because they have a best value. Out of 7 cells, they can go through their DNA lab and solve the case. They're the only lab in North America that can do it at the CSI level that you've been seeing on TV all these years. Finally, there is the technology. Now, they just had one person doing sales last year when started with them. And the huge barrier, big door that they had against them, the FBI had a law sitting on top of them that they had to use another DNA testing that was 20 years old and only 10% accurate. And Congress, the law said they had to use that technique first. And by the time this other DNA company got the leftover DNA, there wasn't much left. So this particular salesperson walked the halls of Congress to change the law. And she did. Besides banging down the doors at FBI fearlessly. She's been on the Today Show. She's been on Forensic Files. She's been on Dateline, NBC. And this is one couple, a man and wife with their lab. Not salespeople before. Why? Because they had a mission. So I want you to think about the mission. Do you save the government money? Do you save them time? Do you save lives? Do you improve the quality of our veterans' care at the VA? Can you find the bad guys? Think about the things that you can do that can really make a difference in somebody's workday. Write that down right now. That's your mission. That's your mission. And the sales team just needs that piece of paper in their hands and let them bang down those doors confidently. So Let me just throw it back to Judy. Judy, thank you so much for having me. It looks like we've gone over what we've covered.
It's coming up
Judy?
on Q&A time. I'm excited. So we've covered a lot. The keys that we presented for the marketing materials that open doors include knowing your customer. So that's doing some research up front, and that's only really possible to do in any intelligent way when you've also made a confident selection of which agencies and offices you're going to focus on, ideally based on hard data. If you're struggling to do that, that's something Eileen and I help our clients do. Key number two, the marketing materials themselves, the different pieces of collateral. We talked a little bit about things like capability statements and video pieces, which once you've got those pieces of collateral, then you're in a good place because you've got things that you can actually share on social media, and that might be stories, it might be videos, it might be links to white papers or other kinds of lead magnets or handouts. Association participation. The value of association participation comes not just from paying your fees, but from paying your dues. By which I mean, most of us really can't afford the time and the sweat equity to actively participate in any more than 3, and probably less than that, associations over a whole year. Do an association audit, look at the value each year, because it changes that you're getting, and dig in. The ones that you're paying money for, don't expect things to happen because you have a membership. Join a committee, contribute to where that association is going because it matters to where your business can go to. We talked about articles, white papers, training, things that bring value, things that bring a little win, things that you're bringing. You remember the Cookie Monster. You're not going to bring crackers to the Cookie Monster. You're going to bring things that resonate with and are exactly the kind of nibbles that your people, your federal humans are after. And then customer onboarding. Every touch. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. That's Maya Angelou's words of wisdom, but it really resonates with us and our clients here in the federal arena. As we come to the close, we are ready for your questions. Please put them in Q&A or chat, but time for action. I want to ask you to write down for you, and really, we'd love to hear, what are you going to do as a result of having heard these words of wisdom and gotten ideas? What resonates with you? What's your aha? What action are you going to take? And by when? Drop it in the chat. The things you share help other people take action themselves. So we'd love to hear from you as we keep wrapping up. Think about that and share it in the chat or the Q&A. And so we're ready for resources. We've got some great resources that we're going to talk about and make available. And we have bonuses because you showed up, because you're listening on demand. So great resources include, here are some of my favorite referral partners, and I don't share these with just everybody. Those of you who either have or are thinking that you really need a GSA schedule and you have done the research to know you need one. Courtney Fairchild is one of my top GSA referral partners for that. Chris Brinker at Ocean 5 Strategies is one of my top resources when you're looking to build out your digital strategy, and that includes improving your government website and web page and all the different ways that your messaging reaches and is aligned with your federal buyers. Market Connections. One of the things that our friends at Market Connections do is they publish multiple studies, but also an annual report that says in the federal arena, which people want which information at which time of year, what do decision makers want, who wants a white paper and when. They look for their stuff. Aaron Heffron is the top leading guy that you want to follow on LinkedIn. Eileen talked about assets for marketing communications, and one of those she recommended was having a short 1 or 2 minute video. Remember those Super Bowl videos? Who has one longer than 60 seconds? Sometimes they're even shorter. The story that you can tell and the impact you can have in less than 2 minutes is phenomenal. Frank Felker is my expert video creator for GovCon, and here's where to contact him. Social. Gosh, it's great, but gee, it takes a lot of time. Nanette Telemac at In Essence Virtual Assistants is my team. and they are smart. They've captured my voice. They're cost effective. I love working with them. So once you have your messaging down, and you need help reaching the right places, Nanette has great strategy and a great team to help reach the people that you want to reach in the federal arena. Finally, LinkedIn, LinkedIn, LinkedIn. 2.4 million current federal employees are on LinkedIn. If you want to start to get smart about ways to leverage LinkedIn to connect and to reach your people in the federal arena, first, go and look. Look at the content that Mark Amtower has published on LinkedIn. Go and research where he has been a guest on a podcast. Follow some advice he has already published. Then and only then, send a connection request along with a note saying that Judy and Eileen sent you and what it is that of his advice you've already taken. If you book a call with him, listen. If you engage him, follow his instructions, and you'll do well. That's been the experience of my clients. Next up, a few more resources. We also have on the line with us, but off camera, Leah Edwards, CEO and founder of Transcendent Marketing. They are national specialists in federal lead generation. Leah is here. Hello, Leah. Whew. All right. We had a little bit of technology twitchies here. Leah is the team that works with some of the top technology resellers in the federal market with a combination of lead generation and appointment setting, digital marketing campaigns, drip funnels, social media management. And if you are thinking, gee, I would love to have somebody setting up appointments with qualified people, Leah Edwards may be a person that you want to talk to. Leah will have some more information in the follow-up email and also in handout links so you can learn more about Transcendent and how they may be able to help you. Their capability statement is now in the chat, so you can go and grab that. So, next slide. Bonuses, here we go. As you've got all this marketing collateral ginning up and you want to know how to get in front of your federal buyer, how do you get that meeting? How do you win the meeting? How do you get invited back? I have a complimentary on-demand webinar that is sharing some of our best and most practical tips for how to do just that. And so there's the QR code and the link where you can go and get that. And the link for that is in the chat. Please get that one. Lots of tips. Next, we have a free guide. Again, once you've got your collateral ready, you know what you do. We have strategies for responses to sources sought notices. You'll love this one, also free. And so grab this one as well. Formal pre-solicitation activities are a powerful way to build relationships and get to know your buyers and your prospects. I hope you'll grab this one as well. If you want to get in front of your federal buyer and win more business faster, Eileen and I work with a limited number of clients each year. For a company that is established whether you're doing federal business or you're not today, and you want to make a solid decision about where to focus, and in 8 weeks or less, build and activate a custom federal sales plan and have finished at least 12 calls with people who need what you do and have enough leads and skills and training to take you for the next 2 years. Our federal business intensive may be a good fit for you. So here's a link where you can learn more and to download the syllabus, see what you get. Next slide. And if you're going, could this be a fit? I do a number of federal business breakthrough sessions for qualified companies. It's a 30-minute session, and we'll have a conversation and get to know each other. And my promise to you is whether we do business or not, you will come away with at least 3 ideas that you can use right away. I want you to steal from us. I want you to notice not just what you learned, but the experience you had in being with us on this webinar and learning things. I want you to notice how you felt. I will always remember this conversation that I had with the CEO at Casco Manufacturing in the Midwest. And she'd heard a presentation I had given. She said, you know, I got more than information. You gave me more than facts. You gave me hope. My hope for you is that you are able to bring that profound sense of optimism, of hope, of a win to every one of the federal humans that you talk to, as well as right through your team, because you were here. Love you to put into the chat. Again, your ahas, your questions. We have questions. I am excited.
Questions.
All right, Leah.
Questions.
What do we got?
Market Connections is now owned by GovExec.
It certainly is. They are part of the
That was
GovExec
one.
family. Thanks for letting us know. GovExec also includes Government Marketing University, or GMarkU, and lots of publications. So if you're not subscribing to lots of the free publications that the GovExec family offers, you should, because your competitors are there. What else? Leah? Can't hear you. We've got a question about what the sweet spot number for follow-up marketing emails is. Eileen, I know I have an idea, but what's your thinking? How many of these emails do you have to send?
Well, I'm one about, Judy calls them micro engagements and I call them impressions, everyone. So what happens is, every time you talk to someone, you email someone, you post something, whatever you're doing, you're leaving someone with a feeling about you. You're leaving an impression. So the idea here is, for marketing, is to be able to kind of serve up, this is who we are, this is who we are, this is who we are, while the salesperson is making those sales calls. Hi, my name is, I did some research about your agency. I understand you like to use XYZ contract vehicle and XYZ vendor. We're coming to you because we understand that you typically buy products and services like ours. Would like to have a conversation with you about an alternate. Okay, I already have someone. And then they come back with, well, you always need a backup, right? And they'll laugh. And then they'll say, well, I have a backup. And you go, well, you always need 3, right? So, and they'll go, yeah, you know what? You're all over the place. We see you everywhere. So yeah, we'll have that conversation. So I don't like to put a number on how many. I would say the issue is how often and how much are they seeing you and getting a feel for who you are. It takes 12 to 24 months to land a good federal contract, which means you're going to be making probably 24 to 40 impressions from every direction that
Eileen,
you're
that's
doing.
right. The research shows it takes between 15 to 30 instances of contact to get from contact to contract. So if you're thinking,
Right.
hey, I've called them 3 times, what's the matter with these people? Your journey has just begun, Grasshopper.
Yeah.
The business goes to those who show up, and finding out who are those people, choosing them well, and then happily and joyfully, because you've researched them, you know they are your people. You know you can really help them. You have past performance that should make them feel comfortable. So you're just going to keep showing up. You're just going to keep showing up because they are public servants. Service is in their job title. It is their job to answer that call eventually. So if you're going, oh, I called them this month, they're going to think I'm a pest. No, 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 no. You're going to go through, and Leah has shared with me, so I'm going to really spill a piece of candy here, a concept called double tap. So you go, you're not expecting to get them. You leave the voicemail. You say, hi, it's Sally. Sorry, I missed you. Check your email. We are from ABC Communications and we help lower your telecom costs. Check your email. If I don't hear from you by noon on Wednesday, I'll call you back at Friday at noon. And they go, yeah, that's nice. Friday at noon, you call back, you leave another voicemail. Hey, it's Sally. I hope you have a great weekend. I've got another email for you and I got a handout I thought you might help. I'll try you again Monday afternoon if I don't hear from you before then. Going, all right, that's nice. She did what she said and she called on a Friday. Let's wait till Monday. But by the time you get to 3 or 4 cycles of that, they're going, I better call Sally because first, she doesn't give up. And secondly, she really sounds nice. And I can send her to somebody else and get rid of her, but that's okay. So that's in sort of 60 seconds how this pairs up. And you may have maybe you may have about 4 or 5 cycles of voicemail, email, double tap. And by the time you get done that, if somebody's well chosen, they should at least be opening or moving you on. And you're going to do that over maybe 3 weeks at the most. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of really deep dive stuff. And so we've got a couple of questions. Leah, I think this is your bailiwick. What kinds of things should people think about when they have already got an organized way to think about what agencies they're in, and they've decided they're ready for a contact relationship management system? I know that I use Zoho. Lots of people use HubSpot or Salesforce. How do you choose? And what should somebody think about when they're making that choice? Leah can't hear you. Can't hear you. Sorry. That is so super frustrating. Nope, no joy.
I can comment on that.
Sure.
There's lots of CRM databases that you can utilize to handle and manage your contacts. When I build federal sales action plans, when I build federal sales action plans, what I basically do is I use a series of spreadsheets because I'm looking at who are the people at the agency, who am I up against, and what's coming down the pipeline. So I need to see everything at once. It's just the way I work. Everybody works differently. But more importantly than your CRM system that you're going to use is the idea of a consistent message and a consistent cadence. Whatever you say to your client that you're going to do next, you have to follow through. So like what Judy said, if I tell myself in my database that, I called the client on a Wednesday and I told him I would call him next Tuesday, I'm going to put that in my calendar to make that contact on Tuesday, no matter what, because you got to prove what you're going to do and that you do it and they expect it. So there's Keep, there's Soho, there's Salesforce, there's Sugar, there's Microsoft, there's so
what
many.
matters more is what matters more than what system did you choose? My dad used to tell me garbage in, garbage out. And by investing about 6 months at least in a really methodical sorting out and organizing of your contacts in a spreadsheet basis, you're going to be on track to have good data hygiene, good flow, good structure. I will not tell you because I don't actually know how many tens of thousands of dollars it cost me to go clean up bad data organization and a whole lot of mess to get to the starting line of using a CRM well and productively. It's a big investment. And so Leah has some information that she has put in the chat about how to go and do that. Leah's company also has call agents. So using a virtual assistant for sales and marketing is one way to think about it. And it's not always even you get what you pay for. There may be some trial and error. If you're going to have a call agent, then talk to a company that has a whole integrated way to manage the call agent, to track the calls, to understand who you're talking to refine the message. Otherwise, you may end up spending a lot of time briefing the virtual assistant in order to get what it is you need. So there's no perfect solution, and everybody's got a different approach. Someone asked, can you send HTML emails to federal agents, or are they blocked for security purposes? The answer is a big fat it depends. You have to talk to them one-on-one. So remember, rather than going, how can I send an email blast? If you're using the word email blast, just stop. I want to encourage you to start with making the commitment to only sending an email to somebody who's agreed to get it, that you've talked to, and you have some idea of what they care about. So rather than going, I'm going to shotgun with either emails or proposals, think small, think personal connection. And I want to encourage you to build more slowly. With that, we've got a couple of other questions as we come to the top of the hour. I have really, really enjoyed having you with us. I hope that you'll share this link with others. We have a follow-up email coming up and a post-session survey. So please fill out the survey when you log off. And Eileen, any other thoughts?
No, I just say the idea here is marketing team, get what your salespeople needs in their hands and spend a little extra money and time to make it look clean and beautiful. It's worth it because it's better that you look like $1 million than you look like a little $25 company, right? Make sure the graphics are beautiful, that everything looks clean, everything matches. It doesn't have to, you don't spend $1 million to have your CAPE statement, your website, your CAPES briefing, any of your documents, all to be the same color scheme, all to have the same logos on it and the same messaging across the board. Try to just make it match. And now the salesperson can confidently, like this picture, they just want to get out there and start talking to people for what you do. So it gives confidence so that they can just knock those doors down.
Exactly. Next slide, Eileen. We want to say thank you for sharing what it is that you can bring us from your decades of experience in the federal arena. When you talk, I listen. And after years of working together, I learned that one of the most important things I can do is give you center stage and sit and listen along with everyone else. I always learn new things, and I know that I did today. Thank you all for being here and sharing that most precious thing, your time. Stay in touch. We'd love to answer your questions. Come on back, be a part of our community. And next slide, we just want you to have a life you love, in a business you love, serving a country you love. That's our ultimate goal for us in our work together. Eileen, thank you. Let's all follow up, stay in connection, and we'll see you on our next webinar. Bye.